Hello, weirdos and weirdettes. It's me, Haunted. Today we're going to continue our little work on the abandoned store. We did a little bit a week before last. I keep wanting to say last week because we used to be weekly. But yeah, we did a little bit of work to it, and we're going to continue that today. So strap in. All right. Let me grab my glasses. Oh, God. Where have I put my glasses? There they are. I am totally 100% prepared today. So, hey, Doug, sir, how are you doing? Welcome in, sir. And Llama, how are you? Moo. Shouldn't it be Bok Bok? Bok. Been worse. Okay, well, I guess that's sort of good then. Well, for a while there, that was kind of the ongoing joke because of doing those rooster riders, as you would say, Bok Bok. So, yeah, I was just keeping that up. I'm doing pretty good today. Doing pretty good. We been having some issues with the old internet, and I called a couple days ago to get it straight, and then they're like, "Well, we'll set you up an appointment Wednesday." I was like, "Oh God, no, Wednesday is bad. Don't set it for Wednesday." Oh, okay, I'll go in there and correct that. Yesterday, get notice. Oh, your appointment is tomorrow. We will be there between 3 and 6. And I was like, no. So I called him again. Oh yeah, we'll get that fixed. 10 minutes before show, I get the notification the technician's on his way out. I'm just like, oh my God, people, get it together. I do not want the appointment today. We'll take the small internet outages, we'll deal with them. And then you can come tomorrow and fix it. Hard to find good help today in the telecommunication world. I have Kinetic, which used to be Windstream, which used to be Altel. If you've ever heard of Sugarland, Texas, you know the company. Hey, McBluff, how are you doing? Welcome in. And if I have any locals here, they definitely know about the company. Sugarland's not far from you. Nice. Oh my God, holy cow, they were the craziest customers. Every house had at least 4 telephone lines. Every line had, every feature available, and they always had to have at least, 3 or 4 outlets, jacks installed when they'd get new service. And they would call raising hell about, how expensive their bill was, even though, at the time they're setting up service, everybody explains, month in advance and prorations and all that good stuff. And, give them an approximation of what that bill is going to be. And it's always the same. That first bill comes and they're calling the customer service department. But yeah, they were crazy. It's like a self-contained or self reliant city, like that has everything it needs. It's a gated community type thing. It has theaters, schools, and some little power plant and everything from what I remember about it. But yeah, main thing I remember is they were just crazy customers with too many phone lines in their house. We might have done dark gray. That just doesn't quite look dark enough, does it, guys? I mean, this has been dry brushed. I think it was dark gray. Crapadoodle. Glad to hear it, McBluff. Glad to hear it. I have no idea what just dropped on the floor. Hopefully it wasn't important. Thank you. Appreciate it. Nope, that's black. Where the heck is my dark gray? Dark gray. Where are you? There you are. Drop the paint that time. I am 100% prepared and no dropsies whatsoever. And if you believe that, I have a bridge to sell you in London. Very good price. Well, I've already dropped it. That's the thing. I dropped the paint on the floor as soon as I finished putting it on the palette. I'm sure there will be more to follow. That's why I said, if you believe that, I got bridges to sell you. Oh, dear God. I don't know why, but today feels like a Monday. I know that's a curse to put on anybody, but yeah. You dumped your wet palette into your lap. Oh my God. Doug, I feel like we were cut from the same cloth, man. Brothers from a different mother. To be fair, it's a new wet palette. So yeah, that thing is pretty big. I'm not very adjusted to the size either. I've got I don't know did you get the extra large or did you get the regular? Because the regular is big comparatively. Because I used to work out of a Hillshire Farm lunch meat box. That was my wet palette, and it served me 100% well. But this new everlasting wet palette is a monster. You got the regular? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's big. See here. We got a ruler on my desk, right? 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. It's almost 9 inches wide. It's a big boy. Margarita. That's a pretty small one, actually. I mean, even the Hillshire Farm one is bigger than that. But yeah, I mean, it was enough. And sometimes I'd have to, clean the palette paper in between if I were using a lot of colors or making a lot of mixes that took up extra space. But it served me well. And I don't know that this one's any better performance wise, but I like the real estate it has, and I like I don't ever have to cut papers again. That's partly pretty nice. Oops. Let's base our finger right there on that wet paint. That's good. Smart. Shop smart. Shop S-Mart. It was a large. Oh, the country crock. Okay. I gotcha. Yeah. Country crock. Oh my goodness. So I know you're excited about that Nightmare box. I'm probably going to be picking that one up myself, I think, because I've been tinkering with the idea of picking up Hoffman. Although I don't know if I should. I mean, I'm trying to get Malifaux started at my new local store, and we seem to be going two ways in the meta. Everybody is choosing Guild or they're choosing Bayou. So we're going to be a store full of lawmen and silly hillbillies. So maybe I shouldn't get Guild. But I do. I want to paint it. Like I said, I love any of the masters on horses. That Leviticus set, when it comes out, that title box, yeah, that one's going to be mine. I don't even play Leviticus, but I will own that one. Yeah, he's actually, and that's a faction I'm very weak on. I don't have much in the way of Arcanists. I have Colette and Mei Fang. You know, those are the only two I have. So Colette's the only one I have that's pure Arcanist. All the other ones I have are dual master. So it's nice to have an actual pure Arcanist, but it's the lightest faction I own. Yeah, that new Mist model looks. I mean, I'll be okay with it with the current crew too. Well, the Carlos Vasquez is a very cool looking model to begin with. I mean, I kind of hate to displace it, but at the same time, it'd be cool. I think that would make it an all girl or all female appearing crew if Carlos is replaced. So that would kind of be cool thematically. Because I think he's the only male in the. Hey, I got a buffer here. I'm not sure if that's me or the stream. Okay. Are we back? Was that me or the stream buffering? Paint one to go with standard Colette. Paint the other one. Not. See, I don't have the Nightmare Colette box, and I don't know if I ever will get it. I kind of like the Corafis, and the Strongman. I don't know. It's never been one that actually called to me like the other Nightmare boxes. I'm blipping occasionally. I'm very sorry, guys. They are very, very quick interruptions. I've not seen them last more than 5 minutes. So hopefully if I do go out, it will not be for long. So please stick around. The weird stream itself should stay intact. I just will disappear from it. I'll be frozen. Dark Carnival is one of your all-time favorite Nightmare crews, but I think this newest one has become the all-time. Nice. Yeah, it's really sweet looking. I did not get my little foam square that I said I was going to last time I was painting, and it's going to be a problem. I think I'm starting to hit the corners again. You need to get around to painting them. Yeah. When you see what you can do with it, my friend. I'm trying to figure this dude out. He looks like somebody out of a Studio Ghibli film. You have every Nightmare box since Nightmare Terra except for the Helix. Nice. The Helix one is I think the first one I got. And it's still incomplete. I have yet to figure out how to do proxies for all the other models. I'm probably going to end up eventually designing them in Blender and printing them when I get decent at that. I'm not there yet. Those are about dry. I'm going to, let's see, we got those done. Oh, forgot this corner one here. Get this corner one. If only I knew somebody else who sculpts. That's true. I don't know if I could afford you, though. Unless you wanted to trade off somehow on something. Barter system. Okay. Just a second to dry there. I'm going to have to find and clean my dry brush. Where is that? There she is. Sorry, just clean my brush real quick. And we'll get back to it here. I was looking for, oh, there he is. I did paint up the title Shtook Stargazer the other day. Haven't gotten him base yet because he is going to be on a custom base. But I don't know if Korok would mind me showing him off. Let's see here. I think that's got the cleaning portion done. You're not good enough at characters yet to be terribly expensive. Ah, okay. Well, the cool thing is, I mean, it wouldn't be like a realistic character. Like we could get away with something like My Little Ponies, basically, but you know, something to fit in line with size-wise, proportion-wise to the Malifaux Nightmare Crew. But that was what I looked at initially. There was a My Little Pony Blood Bowl team, and it had a lot of different variations on the horses and the Pegasi and the unicorns. That was a very common theme in it, and I was like, okay, that might work. And I ended up forgetting to bid at back, and at the last second, I realized it was too late. So did not get the ones I wanted. Hey, Stick. Yeah, the floor detail's great. I'm sorry, I should have put it up like this while I was cleaning my brush. McBluff says, I have various amounts of news might interest you. I finished an animatic. Nice. Heading to ChinCon next month. Very nice. And draw some little Malifaux things. And your birthday's coming up. Fantastic. Well, you know where my Discord is, McBluff. Please post your stuff there. I love seeing your work. So please Please, please, please. Show me the stuff. And this is the shtuck I was talking about. And I don't know if we can get. Ooh, yeah, here we go. Boy, the colors shifted really bad, didn't they? We did the non-metallic metal telescope, and yeah, he's pretty cool. Okay, so let's see here. We're going to take a little bit of that London gray, and we're going to dry brush those bricks on the other side, because I think that's what we were set up for last time. So if somebody would do me a huge favor, one of my friends / regulars, write down dark gray, London gray, and then London gray mixed with a little white, just so I remember it next time. This is the recipe for these stones. I think that's what we need to make them match up. I would love to know where all this white stuff is coming from. Ooh, pardon me. I think it's coming from the ceiling. Actually, like dust falling down or something. That is correct, Doug. Thank you. Just if you would DM me that, and that way I'll know. No, I haven't. And you're right. They are just white. Yep. It's the lamps. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate that. Oh, no. It's all good, Stig. We got it. But yeah, the dust is something else. Yeah, that'd probably work if I had my camera handy. I kind of figured it was that, but I went with London Gray first as the base, and then realized, oh, that's way too light. But that's kind of like my go-to colors. So, but I wasn't 100% sure. Okay, about got that where I want it. Hopefully that got it all out of the ferrule there. Dumped it right in the white. Okay. That should be clean there. I didn't want that on the door, but oh well. We'll figure that out later. Okay, now get that color off of there. Hopefully it won't tint the white. Or the lighter color. That might be a little too light. Just too much on the brush. Kind of lightly hitting these bricks now. I think we'll just do a little bit over here, just to kind of help it blend in. It's not quite 100% matching. Okay, that's good. All right. Yeah. I mentioned that when I did it last week. I was like, this looks very Marvel Crisis Protocol to me, but that's okay. Angel's is very similar. I mean, his is obviously way better, but he did a very, very comic booky style. I mean, it's the same kind of blues, maybe not the exact same blues, but similar enough. So yeah, he kind of took it comic booky as well. That is way too much on there. Okay. Okay, so I think those have been gotten now. Let's go ahead and get that blue tape off of here. Hopefully it's not going to peel the paint off. So much for painter's tape. It actually did. Look at that. It left a residue and took some of the paint off. Good God. That's nuts. Painter's tape my butt. That could be a problem with leaving it on there for 2 weeks. Next time we'll have to make sure we don't do that. Good thing is most of this area is going to be covered up by those little buttresses on the side here. So hopefully it won't be too noticeable. If it is, I may just come in with a dry brush and fix that up a little bit. I haven't, mainly just because cost and availability. Finding it here is ridiculously difficult. I'd have to order it. I just don't feel like ordering tape over the internet. Yeah. Corvus Oculum uses a lot of it. They do buys it in bulk, I think. Okay, so what do we want to do next? Do we want to do more bricks and work on these side bricks because those do need to be done, or do we want to? We can work on the door, the window frame. This little creepy dude with a mustache coming out of his nose. Jeff B. Okay, all right. Well, go look, I guess. See if we can get some of that paint out of there real quick so we don't have so much of a cleanup next time. I think I'm going to work on the door because that was the last thing we were working on 2 weeks ago was the door. Let's work on that. Okay, sounds good. Appreciate that. Get our browns out here, our tans, stuffs to work with. No, I have, let's see here, that. Be good. This be good. Okay. Maybe even a little bit of that pale flesh. I know I'm missing one. Where are you? Colors. Where are you? Looking for. Ah, there it is. Other side. Doom Bull. That was the one I was looking for. Okay. So we got us a door and get the paint in it. I wrap a piece of it around your Wacom pen so don't lose the all black digital pen on your all black desk. Smart. Yeah. Nice. I'm really upset about that, guys. That might be hard to disguise. I might have to actually take the brick off and re-airbrush this area. Was not counting on that. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Okay, so we're just using a little bit of, I think this is Born Fang. Okay, working around tracing some of these details here. to help cover up those little spots that got a little gray from the bricks as well. Okay. So, the cat's trying to get back in, guys. I may have to take a break and let him in because I don't want him to tear up the carpet. But he was driving me nuts before stream, so we put him in the other room, and he has decided he needs back in here. So we may have the cat yowling at us again. You doing that yourself? Nice. Yeah, there's something kind of cathartic about it, I guess. It definitely has its place. I know a lot of people, it's a beginner technique. No, that's a useful technique, man. It's not a beginner, none of that crap. Like Teal is very big on that, saying there's no advanced techniques. There's just what you've got enough practice with and what you don't have enough practice with. And I like that philosophy. You don't need gatekeeping and painting, you know? Letting people believe there's techniques they can do when they're new and not do when they're new. Okay. Now we're going to take a little bit of that. What did I say it was? Mornfang. We're going to mix that with a little bit of Japanese uniform. Or is it English uniform? Japanese uniform. Which bring it to a little kind of yellow cast. Or a little bit of yellow to it. Not quite enough. Sorry about that. Got a tickle in the back of my throat. It's threatening to become a cough. know if y'all can see that, if it's too subtle or not. Hopefully you can. Oh, there were alternating Wednesdays on the Playwear stream. I felt like I should always just sit down. Yeah, I agree. I was basically doing the same thing with you last week. I just I had to jump up a couple times, so I wasn't as talkative. Since I had the freedom to do that, leave the hobby area whenever. So, but yeah, definitely think we should have each other on as if nothing else, background noise, right? Yeah, keep shooting the groove of things. Right. You got to keep that. Got to keep that motivation up, and sometimes that gets difficult. I've been really lacking the motivation lately to paint because I'm at the point of feeling a little overwhelmed. I had two time sensitive projects at once, and both of them basically had the same due date. Um, and I was just getting very stressed out. And I've decided in the future, no more time sensitive projects. It was something I used to do a lot of, and I was good at it. I like the more pressure I was under, the better and quicker I performed. Always was that way when I was younger, and just something's changed. Well, partly, I'm not. My wrist doesn't work as well. My eyes don't work as well. So, I've got negatives against it now. Um, but used to, like, the more pressure I was under, the absolute better I did. Not so much anymore. So I will not be doing any more time sensitive projects. Okay, just about got that door frame where I'm wanting it. Mm-hmm. Better on a deadline, but I find out now ADD. Really? Well, I've known I was ADHD ever since the description, kind of became known, but never like formally been diagnosed. But I did not know that that was something that ADHD people worked well under. I would have thought that the flying brain syndrome would actually be worse for time sensitive projects. Adrenaline for dopamine. Oh, okay. Maybe that does make sense now. When people ask me why I think that is, I describe my brain like one of those, like a 30-lane Autobahn, right? And thoughts are flying by, Autobahn speeds or faster. And if I don't manage to snatch onto it or complete what I'm doing with it, I have to wait for it to get all the way around the loop again. Like, 285 around Atlanta, it has to go all the way around the loop before I can come back to it. So, and in between, I'm picking up another project. So, yeah, that's kind of the way I describe my brain. Real quick text reply. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. That's some textbook executive dysfunction. Well, that was the best description I could come up with when people asked me at the time. But yeah. All right. Catch some of these details in here. Now, we're probably going to come back in with a little bit of that pure Japanese uniform to do some of these. And it may push it a tad bit toward the yellow, but I think it'd give us a nice contrast. All righty. Okay. Almost done with this particular color, and we'll be doing just the English uniform by itself. I think we may add just a little bit of the Morn Fang to it, but it's mostly going to be Japanese uniform by itself. I think that will be the last little highlight we need on here. How do we want to do that slime? We don't want to do wood on wood, do we? We want to do maybe metal plaque there. Because I mean, we're going to have a different kind of wood right here. So yeah, let's do this. The plate on the door. Let's do it in metal. Maybe that will set it apart a little bit. Could. Yeah, could. All right, this is going to be the final. This is not quite English or Japanese uniform, but it's pretty close to pure. So I just mixed a little bit of the other in there just so we have some crossover, right? So I don't know if we talked. Did we talk about my last game of Malifaux, Ophelia versus Lady J? Last time we were together, I can't remember. But it was a very very lopsided game. I was drawing so good on the deck. Like my deck usually yeah, you weren't here last week, so you wouldn't know. Well, if I've told it, you more than and somebody else notices, you're more than welcome to tell me. I've said the story before, but anyways, my opponent was very inexperienced. They'd only played a demo game before of Henchman Hardcore, and I'm not a very good player either. I'm obviously more a painter, but I've got more games than he does, and it was a slaughter. I was first couple of models, well, first model or two that I pulled off the board, I was like, yeah, this is great. Ophelia's doing good. Um, after the third one, I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to delete that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I found it sounded like I was Canadian saying, because I felt bad. I was just wiping him out. Part of it, now it didn't come into, I don't think it affected it too much because I barely used Raimi. And Francisco never got in sword range, but I was using the old cards. I was not using the February errata cards. So Francisco still had his crit strike built into a sword, but I never used the melee attack with him, so that didn't affect it. But I was just getting really, really lucky on my pulls, and he made kind of a bad move, jumping within range of. Basically, there was Gracie, there was Bert, there was a young LaCroix, Francisco, and Pierre, all within range of Lady Justice, and she jumped in to try and delete Gracie, and got deleted herself. Yeah, I didn't realize that. My bad. Well, I was using cards and not the app. I don't like using the app for my cards. But like I said, I didn't actually use the suits that or the melee attack, so it really didn't matter a whole lot in this particular case. But yeah, Ophelia Overloaded seems like a really good, straightforward or relatively straightforward crew for a new person. I thought Ma would be, but I think Ophelia's definitely better suited for a new person, or at least the overloaded one that I played was. Okay, I think the door's done. Okay. What do I want to work on next? I think I'm going to work on these cornerstones here, these capstones. Yeah, let's do that. Do I want to do that, or I want to do dark gray? I think I'm going to do dark gray on the sides, letting gray on the flat surface. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So I finally picked up an Apple TV during Prime Day sales, and of course got my 3 months free and watched Foundation and Severance. Those are not shows you've seen. Definitely recommend them. The Foundation is based on a series of novels and novellas from Isaac Asimov of iRobot fame. Really good, like galactic, epic sort of series, and both it and Severance have been renewed too, which is nice. You know you can watch them and won't be left on a cliffhanger. You're currently rereading the series. Nice. I needed to read it myself. I've never read it. I found Asimov really tough to get into. Um, so, I mean, I'm familiar and I have read some of his, but he's not one of my favorites as far as like casual reading. Yeah, yeah. Couldn't help but think when I first saw Empire that I was reading a 40K novel to start with, thinking about the Emperor of Mankind. But in this case, he's a triad. Thought that was pretty cool. Well, since you have read it, how closely does it seem to be following the series? Or is that why you're rereading it? Has it been so long that you don't know for sure how well it's following it? Ah, okay. Very cool. Rereading it because it's been a while. Yeah. That is one thing the internet has really done is curtailed my reading. I don't read anymore. I used to read voraciously when I was younger, but internet came along. It's just like, I don't know. I guess it fueled the ADHD, and I couldn't sit still long enough to read a novel anymore because there was always something else some other rabbit hole to go down on the internet. So reading became something that was just, I mean, I read a lot on the internet, but I mean, it's like sitting down with a novel just never happened anymore. Okay. Go ahead and get those cut in as well. I'll need a little bit more dark gray. He predicts that the empire of mankind will fall in 30,000 years of darkness. The foundation fails. He makes that prediction in the year 10,000. Or I thought it was 12,000, but yeah, close enough. And so oh yeah, 40,000. Let's see here. Dark gray. Where are you at, dark gray? I just had you earlier. Where did you go? Black. How in the heck did I lose this? Guys, find my dark gray for me. Oh, that's the one that fell on the floor. That was it. Yeah, math, 40K, exactly. Yeah, so that was what I was thinking. All right, now that's why I couldn't find it because it was on the floor. So once we get these bricks set up, we will we'll work on the gemstones next. Anyone? I was going to say have a preference for the gemstones, but I guess I could look on the photos and see what we have. I'll look in just a second. Unless somebody else wants to look for me. Get the interaction, y'all. Well, I'm digging the Apple version. Then I got to tell you, when they oh God, what was her name? First girl, mathematician girl. When they flushed her out the airlock in the escape pod, I was like, what the hell? They're in the middle of nowhere and they're throwing her out in an escape pod? That can't be good. Got a couple more episodes in. I was like, okay. They planned for this. Because it happens across such a long time scale, and because part of the predictions take into account the actions of society that can't. Yeah, and that's been a big theme of it. You know, you can't calculate for her, especially her being able to. I guess I better be quiet. I don't want to do spoilers too much. But yeah, it's really good. I'm digging it. Yeah, definitely better when it's character driven for sure. For sure. But yeah, it's pretty spiffy. Okay. I got these buggers blocked in. And while it finishes drying, we'll go look at the gemstone color. Westworld started up too, but I have not watched it yet. I feel like I'm gonna have to go back and watch that, at least the last 2 seasons over again on Westworld, because it got very trippy. Gail, that's it. Thank you. Okay, let's see here. Wyrdscapes. Look for the front there. Ooh, they are fuchsia / magenta gems. Nice. Okay. Very cool. You haven't watched Westworld? It's pretty good. Like I said, I can't speak for the next series, but the previous ones were good. Like I said, the last 2 seasons got kind of trippy. Like once it opened up from the theme park itself, it got very strange. Let's see here. Okay. Just checking again. I'm sorry to be painting so much gray today, but that's basically it's gray or red or wood, and that's all that's on this right now. I guess we could do the greens and such, but we're gonna do the other parts first to get to that. Yeah. So we're going to be doing these stones on here in a fuchsia. All right. And that one looks like it has a bezel around it, so we may do that in gold. Okay. Oops. We missed a spot right there. Okay. Now, I think we're going to start with Warlord Purple, which is actually kind of fuchsia. Okay. This is actually one of my favorite colors. I use it quite often. It's not like the easiest to work with. Like it has a kind of simultaneously sticky and thin at the same time. But it's fantastic if you can airbrush it. But it's one of those game colors, the Vallejo game colors, and they tend to be this sticky, goopy mess most of the time. But it's such a good color. I put up with it just because it's so good. But like Escorpina Green, Scorpion Green, is another one like that. Beautiful, beautiful color. Absolute nightmare to work with. Like the only way I'll use it is to airbrush. If I can't airbrush it, I don't use it. So if it needs to be like on a small detail, I don't touch it. It's just that bad. Escorpina Green is Scorpion Green by Vallejo Model Color or Game Color. I mean, sorry, not Model Color. So really bright neon green. It's kind of on the lines of moot green, maybe mixed with a little warpstone green. It's not quite moot green, I don't think. Oh, the purple. This purple is Warlord Purple, Vallejo Game Color. And like I said, I love it, but it's just a pain to paint. But there's nothing, I haven't found another color close enough to it to replace it, so I keep using it, despite being a pain in the butt. I was supposed to dry brush those things and I didn't do it. Dadgummit. We may have to backtrack here in a second before I go into any detail on these gems. Okay, well. One of my locals just DM'd me on Discord. That was what I was looking at a second ago. And he was like, if I order the Sonya box, will you build it for me? Yes, I will build your models. If it means you play the game, I will build the hell out of your models. Because that is what matters more to me. All right, let's see here. Do I have my other smaller dry brush here? That is a sculpting tool. That's not going to help a whole lot. Let's see. This is it. Okay. Get some London Gray here. Get my blotting towel back out. So we're going to have to redo that stone when I get done with this. I might have just done this with the brush. Edge highlighted it. Probably would just been just about as good. There's no texture on these stones, so dry brushing isn't really helping. It's just catching the edge. It'll catch these a little better though. Oh God, we went out again. Oh, nope, we're back. Boy, that was quick. Okay, so we're just getting this these bricks dry brushed a little bit for some texture. Get that white out of there. That really blows the camera out. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay. We're going to get clean that brush just a wee little bit and get some of our lighter gray that we were working with earlier. And I'm just going to work on these rocks a little bit here. The ones that actually have texture, not the smooth ones. Okay, just a wee bit more. And then we'll get back to that gemstone painting that we kind of had to skip and paint over because we got ahead of ourselves. Okay, now we can get back to the gems. Sometimes brain gets ahead of hands. It happens. Sometimes hands get ahead of brain. Sometimes mouth gets ahead of brain. That's the dangerous one. When the mouth gets ahead of the brain, that's when bad things happen. You must duck for a little while. Oh no. All right, Doug. Best of luck in whatever you're doing. Hope to see you soon. My talking buddy's gone. No. Mazamune, how are you doing? Welcome in. It's been a while since I have seen you. Well, to be fair, we've been gone a while. But yeah, how are you doing? Welcome back. Welcome in. We are working on some Wyrdscapes terrain. This is kind of our gig now. We like the terrain. Okay, so we got our gems painted in now. Adventure Lunch sorting minis. Ah, very cool. I've got to go through all my cards, my stat cards. They are all out of order. And when you own 700 plus Malifaux models, it takes a while to go through the cards. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of purple wash. We're going to put it in our doodad there. You own almost all of our Arcanas. I hear you. I own all of Rezzers except for Shook. I own all of Neverborn except for Euripides. And I own, let's see here, Victoria's, Hamlin, Hamlin. I think that's it, an Outcast. And Masaki, Mayfang, and Ten Thunders. Outcasts are like my very smallest faction. I only own Colette and Mayfang, basically. Guild, I have Sonia and Lady J and Lucius, of course, because, well, having for Neverborn. Yeah. Well, I got a few models. Just a few. You've refused to pick up more than two. It's probably safer for your wallet and your sanity as far as like your painting queue goes, my friend. If I don't know if you paint or not, but if you do, yeah, really having more than two is going to just kill you in the painting department. Trust me, I feel the pressure every day, the guilt and the remorse of not doing more work on my miniatures. Because it's a substantial investment, and you feel like your investment should be taken care of. So that's our second cut there, that Drucci, and we're just kind of keeping it toward the top. We're kind of dripped down. Let's see here. Hey there, Furyk. How are you doing? Welcome in. Appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words. Yeah, we're having fun with it. It's kind of our thing. We like the terrain. Live in a small apartment, have a 3D printer. Regret any day I don't paint. Yeah. I hear you. I wish I was better with my 3D printer. I have issues with it, with supporting my own miniatures or doing my own supports. I have issues with getting prints that work. And I seem to have really, really horrible luck with my FEP. Like either tears or dents or punctures or whatever. I finally found some that seem to work pretty well. And they have the double metal sandwich design instead of the single tray design for replacing the FEP, so you can make sure they're tuned properly and stuff like that. So that part's nice, but I'm still having issues learning to support models. Now you see what we're doing is we're kind of dragging this thin Warlord purple away from the washed area. So we're getting a little bit of a blend here. Still can't get over how awesome Nightmare. Yeah, the Nightmare Crew is just gorgeous. It really is. Now with Rotten Harvest. Yeah, the Lady J Rotten Harvest. Man, I just wish we had our Death Marshal recruiters and jury in the theme. I'm hoping they'll release like a little substitute, or not a substitute, but a word's not working, but a package that includes those three, like they did with Candy and Cade, for it at a later date, maybe Black Friday, maybe. But it was so close to having like the whole keyword. The whole keyword was almost there, except for those three models. I mean, it's they're available, but not like in theme. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping maybe they'll bring those out later at a later time. If not, I guess we can always do conversions. It's all beautiful. I mean, it really is. The Hoffman stuff is gorgeous. I haven't ever really been like. I guess the closest I came to being into wanting Hoffman was, I can't remember his name, but he painted them all with yellow armor instead of just metal like most people do. He did this kind of weathered yellow, and it was gorgeous. And I was like, ooh, now these look good. You know, they're not just metal; they've got some paint on them. They look fantastic. I was like, okay, okay, I could see owning Hoffman if I did them like this. Seeing that little bit of inspiration kind of made me thought, okay, I'm looking at Hoffman now a little bit more. But after seeing the nightmare models, it's like, oh yeah, I gotta have Hoffman, gotta have him. Okay, so we're gonna add a little bit of white to our Warlord purple, and we're gonna do basically what we were doing before, but we're gonna be pulling this down from the Warlord purple area. So we'll be getting a little bit of a transition there. Doing Blue Tenant, that's cool. I mean, I just like the idea of actually pulling some color into it rather than just, leaving it metal like most people do, right? And the thought never really occurred to me looking at it, because what you normally see 99% of the time is the all metal look. And then when I saw that one done up that way, it was like it clicked on me. I was like, oh, I don't have to do metal. I can do color. Because, I'm all about the bright colors, right? So made me happy. But it took somebody else doing it for me to do it, for it to click, right? All right. So we're pulling a little bit of this color down now. This kind of pinky color. Make sure I get some water on there, because we want it pretty thin, because the white adds a lot of vibrance to it. Did we get it on the? We did. We got it on the rocks. Idiot. There we go. Okay. Pull back here. Oops, hit my microphone. Sorry about that. I do have a Discord. Are you asking for my Discord, or are you asking for Weird's Discord? um, Mine can be found, I think, exclamation point haunted. We'll get you my socials, I think. And my Discord is in there. Yeah, if you want to post it, I can directly see it if you post it in mine. So we're just pulling a little bit of that lighter purple in here. I think it's exclamation point haunted, but let me check and see real quick. There we go. Yep, that was it. Let's see here. Okay. That has got them about as good as I want to get them. They don't have to be perfect, right? I want to get a nice little a little bit of transition going on there. We're just going to pull a little bit of like a V shape at the bottom here. That did not go the way I wanted it. Okay. Go. Okay, hang on. Let me see. Massamune has a picture posted in the Discord. Let me take a look at it. It's so small. I can't really see it. Is that a Charles Hoffman model? Because he's got the robot-y legs. And he's standing on a steam arachnid. Oh, okay. Yeah, I wish this was a little bit closer up. I could see it better. But yeah, it looks very cool. Now we're going to come up here and pop a little dot of white, the top corner of each of these. Try and get it in similar placement on each of them so that they all reflect the same point of light, right? This one will get 2 because it's a bigger stone. There we go. The gemstones are done. Yeah. I'll have to come up, do that trim ring and cut around them just a wee bit. But yeah, those are done now. I like that. It gives me a nice pop of color, right? Something besides bricks done. Yay. There's so many bricks on this wall. Just another brick on the wall. Put a little texturing around this because I don't have any. So we'll just do a little by hand. Okay, let me see. Let me see the close up. Oh yeah, nice. So you went for like a blue metal look versus like a painted panel. See, what I was talking about is he had the regular chrome look, right? The regular metal look, the metallic look, and then he had like the larger, flatter panels were painted like somebody had spray painted blue, or in this case yellow, on them. But you actually have like a blue non-metallic look to yours, that's very nice. Okay, so get back to that texture and stuff. And all this does is just, it's just little dots, little stipulism dots of the London gray to give these little stones a little texture that they don't have. And this will absolutely wreck your brush, so don't do it with the brush you like, okay? Wow, can't even believe we've been here 2 hours. That's amazing. We may actually get some progress made. We'll see. Okay, now I'm going to come in with a little bit of that dark gray and cut in a little shadow there to separate these two stones. They're too close to one another. Got a little bit of red popping through right there. Cover that up. Huh? Okay. And if we want to, we could probably come in here with a little bit of the lighter color and do a little like hard edging on it. Like that. And that. This will give us a little more separation here. Could even come in and stipple a little bit of this color if we want to. If we don't want it to lighten these up a bit more, but I think they're pretty good where they are. They have a little bit different look from the rest of the rock on the building. I think they'll be okay. Let's get these little ridges there. Okay. Any preferences for where we go next? We got our little stones, our little glowy stones done. Got our door done. Got the lower bricks or rocks done. We can do the ones on the side of the building, or we can do some of the wood, or we can work on some of the like crumbly parts. The wanted poster, the shutters. There's all sorts of things we can work on. I really like those stones. Actually, I do need to do the bezel real quick on that first. And I'm trying to decide if I want to do metallic metal or not. I think I'm going to go. I'm going to go with not. We're going to do non-metallic metal because, well, that's what that's kind of our thing. But we're going to do a very quick non-metallic metal or quicker than normal metallic metal, non-metallic metal for this. So we're just going to cut in a little bit of this right outside here early or lower on the gem. Sorry, I don't know why I said early. Okay. From there, we're going to go to scale 75 Dubai Brown. Mm-hmm. Ooh, pardon me. I have got a clog in this. Hold on one moment. The local I was talking about that wanted me to build their models. Turns out he's bought the other side 2-player box, so he doesn't need assembly. Okay, now we'll pull this Dubai Brown up. I really like the Scale 75 paints. They're so matte. And most of my Vallejos are glossy. Or at least are not my Vallejos. Most of my GW are very glossy. So it's nice having that matte that I can work with. We'll mix just a little bit of the Rhinox hide and the Dubai brown. Bring those two together here. There we go. A little blend there. Okay. So, we were working on that. That's what we were doing. All right. Now we're going to pull in a little bit of English uniform. And we'll mix some of that with the Dubai brown as well. Come on, Dubai. Work with me today. Like, nope, I just refuse to give you paint. Because that wouldn't be any fun. Giving you that what you need. Good thing is those two play together pretty nicely, so it doesn't require much mixing. So this is going to be like the main kind of mid-tone, I guess, of the gold. Okay. We'll go to, actually, I think I've got that color already. Yep, I do, right here. Let's get some of that mixed together. This is English uniform and Japanese uniform mixed together. There's a little bit of that Japanese uniform by itself. Just pulling up the brightness a little bit. We're going to do this kind of like an old antique gold, not a super bright gold. So it's going to be a little on the duller side. Okay, well, that's good. Now we're going to get a little bit of ice yellow. Well, this is Tenier yellow, which is pretty good for ice yellow. It's a scale 75 color, so it's very matte. And we're going to mix a little bit of that with our Japanese uniform. And then we'll pull just a little bit by itself. Got a tip top here. And then we'll just get a little bit of white. Actually, a little bit more white. And just a little reflective spot on there, kind of to match the gemstone. And there we go. Now we've got our little gold bezel there. Like I said, doesn't need a whole lot. Like I said, we're kind of doing it for just pass cursory inspection, right? Okay, so let me take a look at the other portions of this real quick. Let's go ahead and work on the handle real quick, and then like the doorknob handle, and then we'll probably do the grates down here. Honestly, we kind of should have finished them with the same gray we were doing, but we didn't. So we may come up with a little bit brighter gray after doing those bars. But yeah, let's work on that next. So. Get us some black here. Our wet palette, this big old wet palette I have, is actually getting crowded now because we've been doing a lot of mixing. Some of it was left over from last night's painting session, but we have done a lot today, mixing wise. I'm going to start with black here. And we're going to do this kind of like the cast iron that we did on the spires, the haunted spires. But we won't be doing a full workup to the Cavalite Sibrite greens. We'll be doing a little bit more toward blue and then up toward white. So it's going to look more like a chrome, I think, than what we did before. And I honestly don't know how to paint this side piece. It's actually the door knocker, but it goes all the way down the side of the door. Do I paint that brown like the door, or do I paint it black like the handle? Pieces like that drive me nuts. I know it's to prevent like overhang and negative space where would cause problems with the print / demolding. But I'm never quite sure how to paint those, so we're just going to paint it like the side of the handle. But yeah, those negative space removal tricks are weird, or result in some weird painting for sure. Okay. So from there, we're going to pull in a wee bit of Spy Darkness. Now, again, we're going to be doing this as a relatively quick non-metallic metal workup. We're not going to be making this a superstar project. There's too much going on this model to try and focus on one area. So we're trying to hit the lit surfaces here, right? Which in most cases is the stuff that's exposed to light. Okay, so there. Now we're going to start pulling in some white for this, because we want to keep it in the same tone, but not. You see, I'm just kind of working while it's still a little wet, which is actually beneficial. Kind of helps with the old blending. Okay, we'll add a little bit of white to that. A little bit more. More. There we go. come back in and blend this other back down just a wee little bit. So see, we got a little bit of a non-metallic metal look here on the door now. It's not like crazy, insane, perfect, but it gives you the suggestion of the door plate and the knocker. If not being chrome, at least being metallic, right? So now we'll pull in almost pure white here. And we'll do some highlights or spotlights here. How do you guys feel about that now? Does that work for you? I think it works. Okay, now we're going to work on our little bars here. Get some drink. Ooh, ow, just kicked the heck out of my fan. Now we're just going to come in here and black the bars out. I'm going to have to disassemble this at some point and paint behind those because there's a little bit of floor section behind these bars. So we'll need to do those as well. And these are not fully assembled. They are just kind of press fit together. So I can come in at a later date and do the interiors, but you know how long we would be, how many streams we'd be at every other 2 weeks. It'd basically be a year-long project to do one of these buildings. So we're not going to be painting the interiors on stream. That will be something I do in personal time way later. But we still have this building to finish. We have the solarium, which is so much bigger than anything else. And then I've got the rest of the pathway box, which is staircases. I probably won't do that one on stream just because I think Poop, what is her name? Eleanor. She has already done the staircases on stream, I think. So the other one is the makeshift defenses and like the fountain. I don't know what that box is called. But I think that's probably going to round out our year painting, I bet, honestly, as long as these projects take. And every 2 weeks is probably going to be basically the year project. If I don't do anything special for Gen Con, that's probably going to be our year-long project, is terrain. I enjoy the terrain. It's relaxing to me. I don't have to get in such weird positions to keep it in camera and be able to see the details I want, which is nice. And there's a lot of different things you can work with. There's rock textures and wood textures and glass textures and gem textures and steel and rust and all sorts of crazy things you can do with them. So I do enjoy them. All right, so we're going to do this rock a wee bit lighter than the other rocks. I want it around the grate because I wanted it to stand out a bit. So we're going to go back to our London gray. And use that as the base. We do have some nice texture here. We'll be playing that up, I'm sure. Oops, hit the mic again. Sorry about that. I do that a lot for some reason. I guess it's my I've got a pop filter and it is just a little too low. I need to raise it up a bit so I'm not catching it with the brush. Funny thing is, I don't think I need it. I've been running for my own streams for about 2 years without a pop filter, and no one has really complained about my P's, T's, or D's. So I doubt I really need it, but I went ahead and saw it the other day. I was like, I need to put that on. So I put it back on. When your pop filter becomes a bonk filter. Yep, that's it. Bonk. Oh, that's funny. My old high school friend, her little nephew, I nicknamed Bonk because that child hit his head on things constantly. Like, I was really afraid the poor child was going to be brain damaged because he would just cram his head on the coffee table or the steering wheel of the car, or just anything that was hittable, he would hit his head on it somehow, some way. Like the biggest klutz child ever. He did it so frequently, it was almost like, I think he's trying to smash his head against this. I don't think it's accidental anymore. Hey, McBluff, welcome back. How are you doing? Okay, give that just a wee sec to dry. While I touch up this little brick here. Okay. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Quite a few little brooks. Quite a few little bricks I didn't get the bottom of. Okay. That's almost dry. Get a swig of drink. Let's do a little bit of iron work here. We don't want these puppies to be all black, do we? So we're hitting them with some Incubi Darkness. About from 4/5 of the way up, roughly. And then we're just going to get a little bit of the lighter color. And then we'll go to the next lighter color. Hoping to get this a patina here. Not exact, but that's close enough. Yeah. You're loving this, huh? Well, thank you. It's been a fun little building. Like I said, there's a lot going on it. That's one of the reasons why I love their terrain. There's so many things. It's almost overwhelming. Like the more you paint, the more stuff you see, and you're like, oh wow, I can paint this and I can paint that, and oh my god, there's this, and woo. You can really you could spend some time on these, like really spend some time. I could literally have spent 3 solid months, probably 4 hours a day, painting the haunted spires. Easy, because there was just that much going on with it. That if I'd wanted to paint it to my normal level, my normal style, I could have spent hundreds and hundreds of hours on it. Maybe even 1,000 hours, because it's just so much going on. Okay, so I got those bars done there. It almost looks like there's maybe water rolling around them or reflecting off them. That's kind of what I was going for. Potentially, even though there's no water here, I could potentially come back later, tape this side off and that side off, and do a resin pour in there so that the bars are actually submerged in water. And that might be something we do. Who knows? It could happen. Yeah, I have. Like I said, I these are a personal project, and it's very rare I get to work on terrain because I have commissions that involve, miniatures for other people. So I very rarely get to work on terrain because I'm working on miniatures for other people. And now I have the opportunity to. Like, well, good. This is one way I can get my terrain painted for my table, because I'm working on a table for home that is going to be a Malifaux table, obviously, and it's going to use Wyrdscapes terrain, right? But what I'm doing different about it It's not going to use a map with deployment lines on it. Even though I have some of those, what I'm going to do is build a control board. Probably going to have to use a Raspberry Pi to do it. And I'm going to run fiber optics, a bundle of fiber optics underneath the board, and have the deployment line set up with fiber optics. And I'll have toggle switches like for corner deployment or regular deployment or wedge deployment. And I hit that, and that row of fiber optics will light up from underneath the board. And you'll see the little dots of light, like landing strips on the board itself. That's what I'm planning. It shall be cool, I think. Oh, dear God. Yeah. I'm hoping it's pretty rad. I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance just in case something happens to the stream or to my end of the stream. It says that the technician is on the way, even though I've already called customer service right before stream and had them cancel the appointment. It looks like he's on his way anyway. So if by any chance the internet drops, I will be back as quickly as possible. I'm sorry we have to deal with dummy customer service. This could have been easily resolved the first 3 times I called them. Okay. Now, what do we want to do this crazy smiley bug dude with the nostril hairs coming out of his nose that look like a mustache? I'm not really sure. I'm going to take a look here at the pictures of Angels here in just a second. I'm going to clean my brush real quick. Well, yeah, it's something I tried to get taken care of before stream day even. Like I said, I called twice yesterday, and both times I was assured it was taken care of. And then today I get a notice, oh, Gary's in the area. He will be out to check your lines. And I'm like, no. So I called 10 minutes before stream, and they said it's taken care of, but it looks like Gary's on his way anyways. So hard to find good help. Let's see here. I can't tell what color that little bug dude is. And I'm not staring at you guys. I'm staring at my monitor. Sorry. But there is. It looks like he's kind of blue-green, like copper or bronze verdigris. So yeah, I guess that's what we'll do him. Basically, like the doorknob here, we'll do those colors again. So that's what we're gonna do. More of that. So we will start with some black. And I think because he's such a large figure, and he is mostly hidden under the overhang. That's why I was having a hard time seeing him. I'm probably going to work with this guy in dry brush or wet brush, at least the majority. And then we'll probably come back in with some glazes to smooth the blends out a little bit. Yeah, the good thing is I have most of the colors there. I may have to remix a little bit, but we've got most of the colors already on the palette, which is going to make it nice. I know this is supposed to be a mustache, but it looks like it is just nasal hair that's come out of his nose and grown too long. It's just disgusting, but funny at the same time. That kind of reminds me of one of those, ow, man, those horns are really sharp. It kind of reminds me of one of those garbage pail cards, kid cards. You remember those? Anybody remember those? Yeah, the like Cabbage Patch Kids, but they were done up in disgusting formats, like Gary Nose Hair or whatever. Or Vomity Victor. They were a big thing back in the day. The hardest part is flipping this without touching those horns, because I've hit those horns every single time I flip this thing, and I did it again after I'd already painted them. So is anybody else working on any projects today? Are they doing some weird work today? Or just enjoying the visual ASMR here? Okay, so we got the base color in there, or base black in. And then we'll come in with some Inky by Darkness here in just a second. Now I am going to put, actually, I think I'm going to put just a little bit of tape around it. Actually, you know what? We're not going to use tape. We're going to use Silly Putty, because that should not leave any residue, right? No tape residue, no stickiness, no pulling the paint off. Of course, the painter's tape isn't supposed to do that either, but we see how well that worked, right? I just asked what was everybody else working on. Were they working on some weird projects, or just here for the the show? You know, painting or building or theory crafting, whatever. Wow, this is the stringiest silly putty I've ever seen in my life. Hopefully it's sketching later. Nice. Well, hope to see some of the stuff that you talked about completing in my Discord later. Because I like seeing your work. And you said you had a birthday, or you've got one coming up. I think you said it was coming up, but if it's already come, happy belated birthday. Yeah, definitely. I want to see them. Don't tease me, McBluff. Just post them when you're done. 18th is in about a month. All right. So early congratulations, early happy birthdays and stuff. I still can't believe you're that young. When you were talking about graduating a while back, I thought you were graduating college, not high school. A very, 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 very youngling. Young. But very talented. Ink by Darkness is clogged up as well. Good God. The life of a painter in Georgia. Paints are always dry. In Malifaux, baby. Yes, you are. That's okay. Okay. We got that first color down. Now, I don't know if you noticed, I kept my brush a little on the damp side. This helps keep it from having a little too much texture built in. Because you can get it can get very crumbly looking, chalky looking if you when you dry brush. But if you dry brush and have just a little bit of moisture in your brush, you get a smoother texture than what you would normally. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You're the student of conflict for a reason. There you go. Ooh, that came in hot, didn't it? Let's get a little bit of that taken down. A little more. Come off that brush. There we go. And what I think we'll do next, rather than going and doing another dry brush, we'll just do some edge highlights and then possibly a glaze. We'll just see how it feels. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Just some edge highlights and a little glaze possibly. Make sure I catch those teeth a bit. There we go. The funny thing is that blue should be over here. The camera's reversed on stream for some reason. We had corrected it and it flipped back, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Lucius was really cool looking. What I'd seen of it was nice. The you feel the energy of that walk just from what I've seen in the sketch. It's very, very good posing. Okay, let's get us some a little bit lighter colors. Yeah, I mean, you really do good. Like that's what I struggle with now more than anything. Proportions. I still struggle with proportions, but posing, getting a natural looking pose is so difficult for me. Like if I have line art or something to work with, I can do fine, but it's just sketching the human body is for me is tough now. I used to be much better at it, but I took a very long break from drawing, and I've lost the touch. You know, they say if you don't use it, you lose it. It's really true. So yeah, definitely do not ever stop drawing, McBluff. You don't want to end up an art muggle like me. Also made Naked M at morning. Need to make yeah. I saw that one with the eating of the chess pieces. That was pretty funny. let's see here. Honestly, posing is something you can have fun with and no neglect. That's true. I mean, if you're doing, something that's foreshortened, like Lucius kind of was foreshortened, if I remember right. Um, Proportions are not as important at that point. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Make it all flowy and get the emotion right, and then add proportional pieces you think it matters. That's smart. I've just lost the touch. I don't know if I'll ever get it back. I'm content that I can paint 3D objects, but I'm pretty sure I'll never paint 2D again or draw 2D again. Like the closest I've done is doing some of my emotes for stream, and that's about all I've done. Thank you, Lama. Appreciate that. Yeah, it does. I can get that because if I go a week without painting, which does happen quite often due to either busyness or my eyes being messed up or my wrist being messed up, either one. So yeah, it's hard to get that muscle memory back. Oh, appreciate that. I don't have nothing on Marwin. That dude knows light. Oh God, he lives light. His models just, it's almost like they have a spotlight on them, every single model. I don't know how he accomplishes that. So we got a suitably creepy looking dude here now. He definitely looks cool, super creepy. And let's get some of these teeth in here. Who is it that time? Yeah, wow, we are getting close, aren't we? Definitely. If you're not already, check out my socials with that link. I would appreciate it. Follows and subs, and well, YouTube subs are free. Don't cost you nothing. All right. What do we think? I like them. I think I might reinforce this line just a wee bit down here. Let's do that real quick while we got the time. Here we go. Yeah, that's what I was wanting. We didn't quite get enough because of the silly putty there. So now we pull that up a little bit. There. That's what we're after. Yes. Pretty creepy little dude. I like him. Reinforce these lines just a wee little bit here. So you can tell us, nostril hair coming out of his nose, making a mustache. Yeah, I like it. Silly Putty did a good job. I wonder if Silly Putty can remove that residue left from the tape. It actually looks like it might make it a little less noticeable. That's pretty cool. I'll work with this later and see if I can get that fixed. Thank you, McBluff. I appreciate it. So yeah. I guess what I'm going to go ahead and do is just continue working on the bricks a little bit, the corner bricks. And I'm going to have to start doing some touch up here. I got to remind myself to bring a piece of foam for this to sit on next stream. I've got the artist foam that's like 1/8 inch thick, perfect cushioning for it. But yeah, keep forgetting to bring it, and as I keep setting those corners down, and even though I got this nice sheet of paper here that should cushion it, it's enough of abrasion when you have an airbrushed paint job that it just takes it right off. So, I love that, it's an abandoned store, yet it's super bright and vivid. it's That's very me. I like bright colors, and I cannot lie. You other brothers cannot deny. But yeah, I like bright colors. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed watching what we've done today. I tried to keep it a little interesting, so it wasn't all rocks. Um, we did some rock work, and then we did some work on that wood on the door, and then we did some iron work with the handle and the bars down here, and some gem work, and then we did some kind of patina there, bronze patina. So we covered a few textures today. I actually meant to have the roof for us to work on because there was other things to do on it, other colors that we could have been working with, but for some reason it got misplaced. I don't know if the cat moved it or what, but I couldn't find it before stream, so we came back to this. You like something about buildings staying in Malifaux staying vibrant even though they're abandoned. Something about their presence and history makes them persist. I like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and if that could happen any place, it would be Malifaux. They're uh, Narnia or something. But yeah, I've enjoyed painting these a lot. Like I said, you could literally spend hundreds of hours, if not 1,000 hours, painting these because there's just so much going on with them. I mean, we're not even touching the fully detailed interiors. There's a lot of like pegs and stuff if you look in there, and that's because there's wine barrels and ladders and all and shelves that go on the wall, which have doodads on them. So there's a lot of detail on the inside of these buildings too. So it's not just the outsides that you have that you can play with. Um, just a lot of fun. They can be overwhelming, because they do have so much going on. You just have to kind of keep plugging away. And like what I'm doing is, take it one section at a time. So I'm going to work on the outside, and then I'll work, once they're all done on the outside, then I'll come back and I'll do the inside or some of the inside. And then I'll come back in and do, like final better details on all of them. So you just have to kind of take it in stages. But first and foremost, I want them all painted on the outside so they can be used on the table. And that's something I'm probably going to be working on YouTube in October. A friend and I are going to be doing a Halloween series or a special, spooky terrain. And Malifaux kind of fits spooky terrain, right? So we'll probably be working on the table and or these buildings on those streams. So, I'm gonna way too much paint. That's okay. We'll just paint the flat sides for now. I'm glad we only had 2 little outages instead of the usual that I've had in the afternoons. So that was a good thing. And hopefully by the time you see me a week after next, we will have good, solid internets again and won't have any further problems. We're just about done. I think I'll have enough time to finish lining these bricks and then we'll be finished. I'm just going to get the bottoms or corners. There we go. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us while we painted some more on the Wyrdscapes terrain, and hope to see you again next week, or see me again week after next on Wednesday, but we will be back next week as well on, I think it's on Tuesday, correct? Play Weird. But anyways, again, thank you for hanging out with us. Till then, hobby on, stay weird, and be safe. Thanks, McBluff. Have a great day.